Hey, Stampin' friends! Welcome to the Joy of Stampin' with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon, and it's our Fun Fold Friday. Today, I'm using a new stamp set called the Party Puffins, and we're making a slider card. Go ahead and hold while I flip, and we'll get started. 1 second. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. All right. Hope you guys can see everything okay. There's lots going on with this card. Please comment if you're watching live. One lucky person who comments during today's video will get today's card. So please comment and I will respond to you guys afterwards. All right, so this card is super cool. Let me show you how it works. It's called a slider card. And all we do is we go over here and we just pull this part up carefully. There we go. And inside we have another cute little puffin with a cake, and it says make a wish. Super fun card, and there's lots of ways to make slider cards, and this is just one of the many. Let me go ahead and show you the supplies that we're using. So we're using the brand new Party Puffins stamp set, and we are using the happy birthday, the make a wish, these cute puffins, and that cake. So this is a cling stamp, and when you get a cling stamp, let me show you what it looks like. You'll have a sticker sheet, and then you'll have the stamps. And what my suggestion is to do is peel off the whole thing, and you're going to mat it to the back of your case. Then you can take it and you can attach them to your stickers so that way you can see. And in each sticker spot, there's a center score line that's been cut already, and you'll just remove that on both sides and then put your stamp on it. Some people don't like to attach the stickers, so it's totally a preference and how you want to do it. All right. So for this card, like I said, there's lots going on, but it's pretty simple once you figure out how to do it. Let me show you some of the pieces, but afterwards I will have the link to my blog so you can see it on there, how and what supplies I use and all of my measurements. All right. So to start off, I have this piece of DSP, and this is from the, I'm going to say it wrong, let me see if I can get it right. It's a hostess only paper, and it's called Pattern Party DSP, and you see it has the black and white on one side and this really fun rainbow side on the other. And we are using the stitch rectangles to create our center cutout. However, we don't want to cut out the top part there. So let me show you how we do that through our die cutting machine. I'm not going to grab my machine in here just because it doesn't fit in my camera very well and it makes my table shake. So let me just show you by using the plates here. So what you do is go ahead and put your paper on the cutting plate right there, and then you'd center it on here. And if it looks like it's going to move too much or if your plates are too warped, feel free to use a Post-it note to help keep it still. And then we're just going to not cover the top right here. Can you see that? I know it's kind of hard to see in the camera, but I'm not going to have this covered by this top plate, which then does not cut it when we run it through. But it'll cut the rest, which is pretty awesome. All right, once we get to this point, you move this out. You need either your scoring board or your paper trimmer with the scoring part on there. I'm going to use my paper trimmer, and let me show you how we can make these scoring lines. All right, so when we score it, we only want to score it in the center here. And we're going to put it into our scoring board or paper trimmer from the bottom side on the left. And we're going to first measure at 1 1/4. So move your paper there. And I like to have this part down, and then let me see if I can get it. Before I use, there we go. And I'm just going to use this stylus pen or a scoring tool to go ahead and score from that side to that side. If you only have a scoring blade from your trimmer, you can use that. And that's what I did to make this one. But it was a little bit harder to see where to stop perfectly using just that blade. So if you have something like this, that's what I would suggest. All right, our next score line is 2 7/8. So we'll move it to the 2 and almost to the very end to almost 3 inches. Close that down again and score just the center. Awesome. And our last score for this one is 4 1/2. So move it all the way down. And just score from there to there. Okay. Go ahead and move this out and we'll see how we did. Sometimes you'll need to take your paper snips and go ahead and cut it more to it, but we did pretty good this time and we don't have to do any more trimming. All right, next what we need to do is grab the same size of basic white, which these measurements are a little untraditional. So it's a 4 1/2 by 5 1/2. So it's a little bit wider than usual and you'll have to use a larger size envelope when you send these in the mail. So we're going to put those both together and I'm using just a circle punch. This is my 1 3/4. Whatever size you have would work just fine. Stampin' UP just recently retired all their circle punches and so I'm just saying whatever you have will work. And we want to put it in there to make just a semicircle and about center. So grab it and punch. It's going to be a little bit of a tighter punch since we're punching out 2 pieces of paper. Perfect. Now go ahead and flip over your DSP and set this aside for later. And we're going to grab our tear tape. We need to put tear tape on the very bottom of our sliding function here, right below that score and the very end. Just like that. Hey you guys, welcome. I see some people here. So glad you can join me on this Friday. All right, I remove the backing, and now we're going to take this piece of basic white, which measures at 4 3/4 by 3 1/8, and we're going to attach it to here. So we want to make sure that we're covering this up, but that it lines up on the top. So go to the top first, and then center it to where it needs to be, and lay it flat. And just kind of burnish it right there. Okay. Next, what I should have done first, let me go ahead and do it now, is use our score lines to kind of bend them a little bit. We want to have, there we go. Perfect. All right, and see, it's already doing that sliding motion right there. However, we still need to attach it to the other backing. So grab your tear tape again because we want this to be a really strong adhesive because it is a moving card. And we're going to put tear tape on both sides and bottom, but not on the top. That. Okay. You want to make sure this is sticking down really awesome. Go ahead and remove all the backs, which probably takes the longest of the card making. Just kidding. Tear tape, though, sometimes comes off really easily, the backings of it, and other times it just gives you grief. There we go. I usually will start on one end. If that doesn't work, I'll move to the other, or else I'll rub it down more, and then I'll take it off. All right, so you remember that piece of paper we used to punch just a second ago? I'm going to flip it over so that way it'll be matching. And we're going to start on the bottom. And we're going to line it up and lay it down flat. Just like that. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and flip it over. And there it goes. It's working. Isn't that so cool? I just love this. I think this is such a neat card. All right. Sometimes it will get a little bit stuck, so just be careful when you put it and you just can play with it a little bit more. Let's go ahead and add our ribbon so we can pull that a little bit easier. And I am using the Pool Party sheer ribbon. And when I did this one, I just did 1 layer. This time I'm going to go ahead and do 2. If you don't have a stapler, you can always punch a hole on the top here instead and have it a hole punch and then to thread it through. We're going to make this look a little bit more fuller though this time. I'm going to go ahead and bunch it up like this. And hold it in place and grab your staple. See, look, mine didn't hold it in place very well, did I? 1 second. Okay, see if I can get it. There we go. Like that. Oh no, look, I need to take that staple out. I went ahead and I pushed it on my DSP. Well, nope, we can't have that. Hold on, let me grab my scissors and see if we can't get that staple out without ripping it too bad. Oh no. I have a tool on my take a pick tool. Hold on, let me grab it. This is a good blooper to see. So if this ever happens to you, you know how to fix it. There we go. I'll just carefully get that part out. Maybe we won't double up our ribbon. Maybe that's a sign I should just keep it single. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out a little bit so that way I'm not going to attach it this time. There we go. We'll fix it. It'll be okay. That's easier to hold. There we go. Now I'm going to take my paper snips and just trim off that top. See, doesn't it look a little bit more fun? I do like it, even though we caused a little bit of trouble there. That's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this off now. And let me show you how to make your puffins. So I've used black embossing powder, and you can buy it now as a 3-pack of the clear, white, and basic black. I just love it. So it looks like this, our embossing powder, and when you do it, you'll use your Versamark, your embossing powder, and your heating tool. I went ahead and did that already, and I fussy cut this one out, and I still need to color this one and fussy cut it. So let me go ahead and show you how I do that. I'm using my Stampin' Right markers. These I don't use as often, but they're super fun when I do use them. I'm using the pumpkin pie first for their feet and their beak. I had to look up a photo of a puffin to see what their beaks look like. And I did a pretty good job matching. So they have a very bright orange tip like their feet, and they have more of a pink color closer to their eye. So I'm using a Blushing Bride, my color here. There we go. And then we want to color that party hat just a little bit. So I'm using the Pool Party, and I'm going to color in the hat, but not the circles. There we go. And I can't tell you how cool it looks when it's embossed. It gives it more of a darker black, and it has a nice shiny look to it. Makes it look more feather-like, I feel. Just like that. Okay. He is ready to party now. Let's go ahead and just fussy cut him out, and it's not too hard. We're just going to go around his little feet and go in a little bit. You could use your Stampin' blends for this if you wanted to, and it would work just fine if you don't have the Stampin' Right markers. However, there's a step on the cake that you will want to use the Stampin' Right because the blends will bleed through, and we don't want to see the image on the back of our card. We only want to see it on the front. Okay. Yes, this is a new stamp set. It is so fun. If you like playful creature cards, this is the one for you. All right, so I have 2 pieces of paper here. One's the matte and Granny Apple Green, and one is our basic white, which we'll stamp on and put our puffin on. And what I wanted to do was kind of give it a fun color scheme that matched along with the paper there. So I'm using my Daffodil Delight to stamp my first happy birthday. And we'll do that right here on the top. Perfect. And then since we're doing a new color, go ahead and wipe that clean or use your cleaning chamois. And I like to tap it, kind of dry it off a little bit. And we'll do our next color. And my colors are matching the Stampin' Write markers I just used. So I'm using my Blushing Bride, which are also the colors that you'll find in our paper. I love how they all can just coordinate. We'll ink up the Happy Birthday again. And stamp this one a little bit below and almost in the middle. Perfect. We'll wipe it clean and tap to dry it off. And we'll grab that Pool Party. And we'll do our, last Happy Birthday. Right below it. Perfect. And these ones don't have to be perfectly lined. This is a Party Puffin and he doesn't care. In fact, he's probably a little bit excited to be here. I'm going to keep this one out because we're going to use it in just a second, that Pool Party again. And let's go ahead and attach this to our mat here. I do recommend liquid glue for this one because we're going to be attaching our puffin in the inside in just a second with it as well. All right, we'll attach this one in a minute, but let's go ahead and put some dimensionals on him. I don't recommend attaching him to our Happy Birthday until we have it on here. So let me get this all lined up for where it needs to be. Maybe, there we go. And what we're going to do is just put adhesive between these two score lines. Let me grab my Stampin' Still Plus because I want it to be a little bit sturdier. And now attach it, our mat right there. Okay, there we go. Now it's laying flat again. Perfect. And then we can attach our puffin with dimensionals. He's having a good time, so just kind of put him at a fun angle. Cute. Okay, go ahead and open, slide it open. This next step we have to do with it, open. And we want to make our wish saying it's going to be up here, so when they pull it, they can see it. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp this one in the Pool Party. Right about there. Perfect. Next, we're going to use our StazOn. StazOn is our permanent black ink, and it's what you use when you're coloring with your Stampin' Write markers. And we're going to get our cake. I'll show you maybe on the other one how I use the Memento, and you can kind of see where Memento and the Stampin' Write markers aren't the best of friends, and it doesn't look as sharp as it could. All right, go ahead and put our cake right here down in the left corner. Press firmly. Oh, that turned out great. I just re-inked this one, and so it's nice and fresh. And you can tell the StazOn is stored differently and has an extra layer of lid because it dries out a lot faster than most inks. All right, let's put all of our inks away and let's color our cake. I'm using just those same colors that I did for our Happy Birthday. And you can change it up. I'm going to go ahead and make our frosting this time the blue, the Pool Party. I'll go just like that. Color it. And then we'll make the pink bottom of our plate. And some yellow flames. We probably could even do our candles orange if we wanted to. But I'm going to just keep it white for now. However, I do suggest using your Winkacella because you want those flames to have a little bit of glitter, and you probably even want some frosting to have some glitter too. Why not? All right, lastly, let's go ahead and add our last puffin, and you want to play with him a little bit. You can have him, I wanted to have him kind of look like he's blowing out the candles was my idea, but you want to make sure he fits into the sliding position. So be mindful when you place him and just put a little bit of liquid glue on him. So that way, if you don't put them where you exactly want them, you can move them quickly. Okay. There's his little wing there. Oh my goodness. All right, we did it. There it is. Let me show you them up close. See how that black emboss just makes it really shiny and pretty? Such a fun card, and it takes a little bit more time, but totally worth it. And the person who's going to get this card is just going to love it. There's our 2 cards, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great Mother's Day weekend. Happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.